And this means freedom, self-awareness, expression. And this to me means you can be more than one thing. I'm Jasmine Bowdry, and you're listening to And This Podcast.
We've been taught that we are supposed to be people and we're also supposed to be brands.
Yep.
And I will argue that that's creating most of the tension. Brands are a bit more structured, rugged, and finite.
Yep.
And people are dynamic and fluid and evolving. If I'm talking to someone as a consultant and I say you want to maximize your revenue, I would say pay attention to the importance of image, pay attention to how you look, and dress the part. If somebody is maximizing their whole human experience, I'd say do whatever you want to do. And currently, I'm in the season of doing whatever I want to do. That does not mean I don't make space that I may become that other person again.
Do you feel that, not even just with yourself, in that mindset, that it's typically a deeper issue with just how people feel about themselves and not wanting to show up?
As far as their, like how they choose to wear what they wear? Or,
yeah.
So I think there are a lot of things that impact it. The first thing is always whatever we feel we're supposed to do. And as a marketer, I was part of the you're supposed to do movement. We always tell you what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to wear, what you're supposed to buy. But then I think for some people, it could be a, losing the word, it could be a self-esteem thing that impacts what they choose to wear or what they don't choose to wear. I knew that it was critical for me to leave where I was coming from and step into social. That part of my true story was like, I'm shedding some of these layers.
Yeah.
And if you're not crazy, if you want to wake up, wear jeans, some Jordans, and still pop your, right? You're not crazy, but somebody got to kick down some of these doors. So I still have to salute the Eric Thomases of the world, the Gary V's of the world that said, I ain't putting on the tux. I'm walking in here as I am. Are those things possibly limiting? They may be, but I think the same way they've made those decisions. So it's in that same vein that I make it for myself. So I hope I make space for the person who sees themselves confident in whatever they choose to put on. Now, for the betterment of society, I think there are double standards. Yeah. And I wish holistically we just made more space for humans to be.
I think one of the things that has kept me stagnant with content creation for a really long time is that who pays me and who I'm talking to online are two completely different audiences. And so learning to talk to them differently. Yeah. And this is for the entrepreneurs that have a high ticket offer or something. When you style someone, your avatar looks like, for context, a me or higher, someone that is already speaking on stages, already paid to do something very, very well that they are the expert in, you know, and they're probably paying you somewhere between a 4 and 5 figure ticket for those services because it is a done for you service. You're going to pick out my clothes, tell me what to wear, here's what looks good on your body.
Because I don't think people understand that styling is a done for you service. Like I am in the stores, like with my in-person client experiences, like I am there 3 to 4 hours before they get there. Like the rack is already prepared. Prior to that, I've already created the mood board, their style vision. I've already looked at all of the things that we collaborate on. Like, how do you want to show up? What do you have going on? Like, there's all this pre-work. People just see the finished product of stylists, which is, you know, the client, or if you're a celebrity
this is
stylist,
not I glanced at you and was like, here.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's people just see, oh, okay, well, you paid, you know, for somebody to just put you, you know, in this dress. And like, it's not that. It's a done for you service that has a lot of manual aspects, you know, to it. So I just wanted to point that out because when you were saying that, I'm like, absolutely, yes. Like somebody that gets it.
No, this is huge because I always say this of like agency and service-based business models are so the same across the board. It's the same exact concept where it's like, well, somebody be like, oh, you produced that podcast. Like, that's dope. Like, how'd you come up with that? And I'm like talking to the talent for months. Yeah. Like getting to know them for months. Exactly. Figuring out what they want, how they want their aesthetic to look, how they want to sound, I mean, people like when I work with talent, I'm like, what do your clients say? What are your testimonials look like? What do your staff say about you? Like, I want to know the best, worst, great things about you and your work. And then I want to find ways to capsule that in content that comes out to the world that if they never knew you, that they get a chance to receive you the way that the people that love you receive you. Exactly. That is a lot of deep effing work. Yes. That people don't see. You just see like deliverables.
When I'm first talking to a client, like in our consultation,
you're probably asking them what makes them uncomfortable in the clothes that they currently
like
have.
A lot of times they are crying because they realize I haven't been showing up for me.
Yes.
I have let myself down. How I outwardly express that through my style is I'm in loungewear all the time. I'm in clothes that doesn't fit. I'm in old t-shirts. I'm just, I don't even try. And so it's like
I don't want to share the pictures that I have that I just paid to have professionally done.
Because I don't like how I look, because I didn't dress according to my body type. Yes. Like it's all of these things. So usually it's an emotional experience. It's usually very emotional. And so I'm like, this is not surface level work. Like you are dealing with people's feelings, emotions, how they feel about themselves and how you can help them show up better. Like a stylist is just an amplifier to what is already on the inside of you. That's it.
That's exactly how I look at what I do. I'm like, I'm already working with people that do, which I'm going to circle back to what I said at the beginning. I'm already working with people that do something really well in the world. We're just adding a different marketing arm to the work that they already do to attract a different and new audience. And I think the same thing with styling is, and as a, potential avatar, I always think like, I am in that year of like, I can't be paid to speak, need to take photos all the time and show up in places where the BTS is me in a sweater. Like I can't. I'm like, you can't show up that way anymore because the world is like, people are looking and wondering if and when they're going to hire you. You can't be looking like you don't give a shit.
Listen, I do not hire anyone if their style doesn't match the message.
Well, damn.
And that's literally what it is. One of the team members that I hired, like we've probably been friends, like social media friends for years, right? She always had a great message. I'm always like liking her content. Like, yep, what she was saying didn't match the look. And it was a disconnect. And I'm like, you talk good, but you don't really invest in how you look. To me, it's like, well, what do you feel about yourself that's stopping you from making those own investments that you're trying to get people to pay for?
Right.
Like with your own services.
Yes.
Right. And so she had like a complete rebrand, like showed up differently, was just more confident. I think she hired a stylist and it was just different. It was just like it was a different level of confidence that you even saw through her.
Yes, I've had to honor that.
Yeah.
Like Jessica, you feel better.
Yes, you feel better.
You look better.
It's literally that simple. And so I reached out and told her, like she had asked, and I was like, hey, before it was this, but now it's this. Before, I'm only gonna buy what you offering for $47. That's the level of, that's it.
Yep.
And then I actually hired her, a 4-figure investment on retainer. It's levels.
It's a difference.
You're addressing a character. It's not necessarily where you are addressing a celebrity and, they're going to be rated on the red carpet based on their look. You are addressing a character. So there's a script and a storyline that you are matching that character to. So if this is something that's filmed, based on the time period of being in the 90s, then you need to source pieces that align with that time period so that it aligns with the storyline and the actual character. So there is an element of styling, but you're pretty much dressing and making that character come to life through the story that you're trying to tell through clothing. As a stylist, right? You know I'm a stylist. You know I dabble.
I need you.
You know I dabble. You have gone from rocking the Epic Nation tracksuits, okay? Rocking all the Epic Nation tracksuits, right?
Don't do this.
You have now shifted.
Don't do this.
You have shifted into the designer of everything. Like, hello, Prada.
Don't do this.
And I have questions. About this. Because I need to understand this transition. Yeah. I need to understand, like literally, it was all branded. That's all you wore was Epic Nation tracksuits. One, kind of what was that shift? Yeah. First question. Secondly, do you feel that up-leveling in that way, right? Because I do think that there is a correlation. So Neil Patel actually spoke about it. So when he was kind of first starting out, and he, if you don't know, like he's the king of SEO and built multi-millions from creating his SEO company. And so when he first was starting out, he would wear just like t-shirts and shorts, right? Wasn't closing as many deals. He started wearing more designer suits, Tom Ford, very luxury. And he realized he closed 60% more.
Wow.
when he wore that, just based on the perception. So do you feel that wearing just designer has made a different perception of you from when you were rocking the Epic Nation tracksuits?
I don't know what the perception is. I would have to flip it. I would have to flip it and turn into the interviewer. With you seeing nothing but my Epic Nation tracksuits, which the Epic Nation is my online faith and business community, right? So it's an online church. Do you feel like it changed the perception?
I don't know. I can't say. Like, I feel like it's definitely a different version of you, gotcha. Right? From when I first met you. It is a different version. I don't think the core of you has not changed, which I would hope wouldn't, just based on, labels. I think I'm more so wondering, have you seen an increase in your revenue, connections, business opportunities, based on how you may now potentially be perceived as a result of how you dress?
Sadly enough, I would say people's perception is that way. Now, I could have afforded it then, right? To buy, whatever that was. Thank God I was blessed to be able to do that. Part of why I did only the tracksuits then, it was creating discipline.
Okay.
Right? So I think I was saying it then. I was rebuilding, restaffing. We hired at that time, thank God I don't have that many people on staff. We had 27 people on staff, right? So when your payroll is that big, I still got a bigger than I want payroll. I really wanted the discipline to say, can I not buy these things, do this, and invest it all back into the business? Also, I wanted to make sure I wasn't grabbing my self-worth and connection to the brands and that kind of thing. So I did that for like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, where I only wore that. Do I see a difference? Yes, 2 things. Car, like a particular car I purchased, I saw a difference. Like 100% I saw a difference with that. How people respond to that. Or people, man, you must be really getting it. I'm like, how does spending this kind of money make you believe that I got it? Like, it's a sick thing, but truthfully, yes, I don't know why we attach ourselves to it. Now, I'm always transparent. Some stuff I buy, there are certain things I spend a lot of money on ads and into the business. So if you're leveraging and I'm not a credit guy, some things you ain't got to pay for. You can use points and things of that nature. I'm not saying that everything I've purchased has been that, but I try to attach it to not spending earned income. So I'll use an example. If it is affiliate income, things of that nature, I use that money for clothes. Now, some people, depending on where we're at, could see it as marketing because it does do something different. If this said The Mob or one of my brands, Stretch Free Millions, for some reason, people seeing Prada or Louis Vuitton or Gucci or any of this, it's public perception like he must be this. Mm-hmm. I would hope that I could at some point make the transition and say, without any of those things, listen to the value of my thoughts. But perception is reality. As a stylist, like I'm looking at you. If I see you walk in with this, I don't have to know the name brand of it. I would rather that. Like that's fly.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fly.
And it's not name branded out.
See?
But I think that's the power of style. Like it doesn't have to be.
So basically, we're not stylish. We're just overspending. We need you.
For women listening, you may be in this phase or have experienced this where I was like, I hate everything in my closet. Hate it. Like, and I was like, this is not me anymore. I am not this girl, but not quite sure who I am anymore. Yeah. Like, I don't even know where to go. Like, if you took me to the store, I wouldn't know where to start. Yeah. And I think I just all of a sudden lately got excited about style again. Okay. Where I'm like, oh, I see where I can play with this and have fun with this. And I can also be loungy, but make it cute kind of thing. So what are the like absolute hell yeses this season for the girls trying to rebuild their style and stuff you're tired of seeing? Because sometimes I pull stuff out of my closet and I'm like, I think this is cute, but like, is the world going to be like, girl, put that back? Like, so what are like the absolute hell yes? And then the like, keep that one in the safe this season.
That's good. So style is personal. So I want to say that, right? Yes. Style is personal, right? So what works for me may not work for you.
Right.
There's also body type considerations, right? Which I think a lot of people do not factor into their body type, which is usually why most people don't love what's in their closet, because they've either gained or lost weight. It no longer serves them.
Mm-hmm.
It was hot then, it's not anymore, but they want to hold on to it. Maybe it was their first investment in a designer, you know, shirt or jacket or something like that, right? So they want to hold on to it. But I think some initial, and I'm going to use Madi's words, because I don't give tips. I give strategic business insights and strategies, right? Is one, assessing where you are currently,
right?
You know, mentally, physically, like, where am I?
Yeah.
You know, and then understanding too, who do I want to show up as?
Yeah.
How do I want the world to perceive me?
Mm-hmm.
How do I perceive myself? Do the clothes that I currently have in my closet align with that? Okay, so that's the first thing. If that answer is a no, right, then you need to get rid of them. Clear out the clutter. The things that do align and that you do feel you can work with, you know, I love a good Pinterest board, right, for inspiration.
Yeah.
How can I remix, you know, this black blazer? What new fun and creative ways can I, you know, remix these high-waisted, wide-leg pair of jeans, you know, that fit me so good, right? So I think it's thinking about different ways. It's not always about going and buying new things, right?
That was the remix. Remix, that word, that
like
for
remixing.
Me, shout out to Pinterest. I started I think what changed was like a month ago at night. I was like, hey, pick something else. You either need to read or Pinterest or something at night instead of scrolling after I put my son to bed. So I started going on Pinterest. And I would save all my favorite outfits. And something about that for a month straight made me go in my closet. And I was like, girl, you have half this shit.
It's like I have most of it you have already. You just need to play
with it.
Right? Exactly. Play. And I think that's another thing is allow yourself to play with new colors, prints, textures, styles. Because that's what a stylist does. Like, we play all day. Yeah. Like, you know, we're going to fun. Like, let's see if we can get you in this. This is something outside of your comfort zone, right? But let's just see. How do you feel in it? Right? And then that's the last thing is, how do I now feel in this? Right? So if there are pieces in your closet that just make you absolutely feel like the boss chick or that boss guy, like, go buy more of those.
Right. Yes.
There's nothing wrong with a minimalistic capsule type wardrobe. You know, if your thing is a leather moto jacket and loafers and a cute top and some jeans, like, let's go buy more of those.
Do more.
You know, maybe
ways,
different ways, different colors, right?
Yeah.
I would say that's like the starting point before you just go out and try to buy like a whole new wardrobe. You know, before you decide like, I hate everything. Yeah. Take out the things that no longer serve you, but see how you can actually like remix some of those things that are in your closet that are probably really good.
Yes.
Staple pieces, which if you do not have my free wardrobe essentials list, it'll be in the show notes. It's absolutely free for you to download. You can grab that, and it's just going to be like a checklist of all the key essentials. And you can literally go and like audit your closet. Do I have this? Do I have this? Nope, need to get this. Yep, got that. So
shout out to the list. I think I want to end here. I love what you just said, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was like ready to ditch. Like there were nights where I was like, ditch all, just throw the whole thing out and start from scratch. Because you don't know who you are anymore and how you want to show up in your body and your clothing. And then being on Pinterest for a month straight had me like, okay, I can play with this. I can play with that. Mm-hmm. And then as I started playing, I would show up at events confidently. And so what I did was I would go to events, like small events. I was invited to art shows, this, that. And I would play with things like, you know what, you would normally never wear this, but like try it and see what happens. And as I started to play with things, it made me very clear on like, okay, no, these staple things are great. You just get rid of the other things that you would never really make work again. In turn also made me start showing up more confidently. Absolutely. In turn made me like it easier for me to pick out clothes, but also made me start asking myself like, how do I want to show up as my higher self? And what in my closet, when I buy something next, is this going to make me show up as my highest self? How do I see myself in the next 3 years? Yep. What stages am I speaking on? What podcasts am I guesting on? What places am I showing up in? Where am I photos being taken of me? And how do I want to look and be perceived to the best of my ability or what I can control in those spaces? I want to make sure when I am buying and purchasing and growing my closet again, that I am thinking of those things in mind. And so it gave me the space to kind of like Chat GPT, visit her, and also edit my closet in that way.
You don't have to start where you finish. You are allowed to experience all of these different avenues when it comes to the various layers that styling offers. You know, I personally love personal styling, but you may love TV and film. You may love being on set. So I hope that this gave you some insight as to not only the different avenues that you can take in your styling journey, but if you currently are in your journey, that it's okay to shift, it's okay to pivot and try new things.